Let's go, baby. It is finally here. UFC 285. Jon Jones, the GOAT, taking on Ciryl Gane for the heavyweight title. I cannot wait. For the past 2 months, I have been dying to see this fight. I'm going to be giving out my main card predictions for UFC 285 because we're only a matter of hours away from the card. So let's get right into it. So for the first fight on the main card, Bo Nickal taking on Jamie Pickett. I'm going to have to go with Bo Nickal here just to get it done in the first round. Jamie Pickett doesn't have the best wrestling, doesn't have the best grappling, and I just see Bo Nickal completely exposing him there. I'm going to go by a TKO for Bo Nickal. A lot of people are on the submission line at like plus 120, I think, in the first round, like first round submission. I don't mind that at all, but I just see Bo Nickal getting a ground and pound TKO against Jamie Pickett in this matchup. Jamie Pickett's a guy that has quit before, and I do kind of see that happening in this matchup. You know, it's a big ask to take on Bo Nickal, who's looking really impressive in his career so far. Bo Nickal I'm gonna have to go with in the first round here to get it done and look like a stud in this matchup. For our next fight, we have Mateusz Gamrot taking on Jalen Turner. I'm gonna have to go with Mateusz Gamrot. I just feel like, you know, the single leg there is gonna, he has long legs, Jalen Turner, and I feel like Mateusz Gamrot can latch on to that leg and, you know, take him down. We saw Jalen Turner get taken down by guys like Jamie Mullarkey, and Jamie Mullarkey has not even close to the wrestling Mateusz Gamrot has. Steamroller Favola also took Jalen Turner down, so I don't see Jalen Turner having the, let's say, wrestling to, you know, keep up with Mateusz Gamrot, especially in the scrambles. Mateusz Gamrot has insane scrambles, as we saw even against Dariush in his loss, and Arman Tsarukyan. He looked amazing in the scrambles in that fight. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Mateusz Gamrot by decision. I just feel like he'll be able to put on that pace on Jalen Turner, maybe get a late submission, but I'm gonna have to go with Mateusz Gamrot by decision in this matchup. For the feature fight, I think that's what you call it, Jeff Neal taking on Shavkat Rakhmonov. I'm gonna have to go with Shavkat Rakhmonov. If you look at Jeff Neal's, you know, losses in the UFC, you have Stephen Wonderboy Thompson he lost to, and he lost to Neil Magny, and those guys are, you know, lengthy, rangy strikers, and Shavkat is exactly that. He struggled badly against those two guys, and I feel like Shavkat can do that and pick him apart at range. He can also implement the takedowns, so he has a multitude of ways to win this matchup. So I do feel like Shavkat Rakhmonov is going to be able to you know, implement his whole MMA game and maybe find a finish in the second round by TKO. Jeff Neal also missed weight by 4 pounds, so I'm wondering if he's struggling with weight problems, like health problems in this matchup. So I'm gonna have to go with Shavkat Rakhmonov in this matchup to get a second round finish against Jeff Neal. I don't think it will be a KO, but I think it'll hurt him and then, you know, grind him, pound him out type thing. For our next fight, we have Valentina Shevchenko taking on Alexa Grasso. I just don't see how Alexa Grasso can win this matchup. I really don't. I don't think she has better boxing than Valentina Shevchenko, and that's probably Alexa Grasso's, you know, best attribute as an MMA fighter is her boxing. I don't think she has better boxing as Valentina Shevchenko. She definitely doesn't have any power compared to Valentina Shevchenko. She definitely doesn't have the speed compared to Valentina Shevchenko. Her wrestling is not going to be able to get Valentina Shevchenko down. I don't think she has the jiu-jitsu to submit Valentina Shevchenko. I mean, she does have some pretty good jiu-jitsu, but I just feel like, you know, Valentina Shevchenko, if she's not getting submitted by Taila Santos, I highly doubt she'll get submitted by a smaller grappler if it gets there on the ground. In Alexa Grasso, I just don't see that happening. I just see Valentina Shevchenko picking her apart at range and probably finding a decision victory. I do see Alexa Grasso being a hard gal to finish, so I'm gonna have to go with Valentina Shevchenko by decision. I just think it's gonna be a master class. We'll see the old Valentina Shevchenko, and I do think she'll win this matchup pretty comfortably. I just don't really see any path to victory for Alexa Grasso. At plus 530, I mean, if you want to have some fun, I mean, I guess bet it, but I just don't really see how she can win this matchup. For our next fight, the main event of the evening, Jon Jones, the GOAT, taking on Ciryl Gane. Oh my god, this fight is going to be so good, man. I cannot wait for it. There's so many narratives, there's so many storylines going into this matchup, and I'm gonna have to side with Jon Jones, dude. I really am. I kinda am a fanboy of Jon Jones, I can't lie. He got me into the sport, you know. He literally got me into the sport like 6 years ago. I watched my first ever pay-per-view card, and it was Jon Jones dominating his opponent. So I'm gonna have to go with Jon Jones by 3rd round TKO. I just don't like what I've seen from Ciryl Gane in the grappling. Yes, he might have been working on it, but dude, his fight IQ in the grappling, it's just not there. If you go and watch the Ngannou fight, Ngannou was literally in on the legs, and Ciryl Gane was literally holding on to Kimuras. Like, bro, what are you doing holding on to Kimuras when Ngannou is in on your legs? What are you doing, bro? And also, you know, if you go and look at the Volkov fight, that Volkov fight also gives me loads of confidence on Jon Jones in this spot. You know, Volkov landed 57 leg kicks against Ciryl Gane, and it was a close fight. I think it was 3-2 in the end to Ciryl Gane. So, you know, if Jon Jones lands 10 leg kicks, you'll see Ciryl Gane switching stances more than he usually does. You know, Ciryl Gane is a guy that does switch stances. He's got a nasty jab, good leg kicks of his own, but I think it's a bad matchup for Ciryl Gane, as like Jon Jones can implement a whole variety of takedowns. If you go and watch the Don'Tale Mayes fight, I know this was probably like 4 years ago or 3 years ago at this stage, but you know, Ciryl Gane struggled against Don'Tale Mayes and getting it down once again in the 3rd round and finding a finish by ground and pound TKO like he did against Gustafsson in the 2nd fight. So yeah, I'm gonna have to side with Jon Jones. I just like how many ways he can win this fight. He can win by submission, he can win by TKO, he can win by decision. Ciryl Gane can win by TKO, but it's I'm trying to look at it, how can he do it? Like a body kick, because every time he hurts someone, yeah, it's always firstly from the body, and then he opens it up with his hands, like he did against Tai Tuivasa, for example. He hit Derek Lewis with some big shots to the leg, so he kind of chops at his opponents, and I don't see him being able to, you know, hurt Jon Jones to the body, or being able to kick his legs apart and really like destabilize, if that makes sense, Jon Jones's movement. So I only see Ciryl Gane winning by a decision, or he could somehow submit him, but you know, TKO, I just don't really see it, man. I really don't see it. But yeah, Ciryl Gane can win. He can implement the he can even implement his own takedowns, like even just try and, like, you know, mess with Jon Jones's head, and possibly, you know, kick to the legs, keep to the body, kick his body apart, and obviously go up high eventually with his kicks that he always likes to do. So yeah, I do see, you know, Jon Jones winning this, but Ciryl Gane is a live dog. I'm pretty sure he's up to like plus 150. So I don't mind the people, I'm not mad at people taking that shot on Ciryl Gane. So yeah, there you have it, guys. There's my UFC 285 main card picks. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I will see you guys at around 11:30 GMT time, 5:30 Eastern time for my UFC 285 watch along. I cannot wait for this matchup. I will see you guys there. Peace.